Why would anyone chase a mammoth through a snowstorm with nothing but a sharpened stick? It sounds insane now. But that kind of grit is exactly what kept early humans alive during the Ice Age. Back then, the world was colder, meaner, and much more dangerous. Every day was a fight for food, shelter, and warmth. Yet somehow they didn't just survive. They pushed forward, learned fast, and shaped the path for all of us. In this video from the Untold Past, we explore how early humans turned the coldest nightmare in Earth's history into a story of survival and strength. Stick around, because the real journey is just getting started. How cold was it really during the Ice Age? Temperatures plunged far below freezing, blanketing much of the Earth in ice. Massive glaciers moved like slow giants, reshaping entire landscapes. The wind bit through even the thickest fur, and the days were often dim and short. Survival meant more than just keeping warm. It meant learning how to live in a frozen world. Early humans adapted fast. They learned how to build wind-resistant shelters and keep their fires burning through the night. Cold was the enemy, but also the teacher. It forced innovation. The brutal cold pushed them to think differently. They had to build homes that didn't collapse under snow, track the sky for weather changes, and move with the seasons to survive. They studied the ice, watched how animals moved through it, and figured out how to use the landscape to their advantage. Cold wasn't just a danger, it became a guide for every move they made. Finding food wasn't easy. Hunting in the Ice Age wasn't a choice, it was a need, and it came with high risks. Woolly mammoths, reindeer, and other big game were powerful and dangerous. One wrong move could mean death, so hunters relied on teamwork. They crafted better weapons, studied animal patterns, and learned the land. When meat was scarce, they gathered what they could: berries, roots, and anything edible. Survival was never guaranteed, but every meal was a victory. People had to know where animals would pass through, how to lay traps, and how to waste nothing. Even the bones and fat of an animal became tools and fuel. Nothing could go unused. That mindset, use everything, lose nothing, became a rule for survival. Food wasn't just eaten, it was respected. Each hunt told its own story of risk and reward. Shelter was everything. Without proper shelter, death came quickly. Caves offered natural protection, but when those weren't available, humans built their own homes. They used wood, stone, and animal bones, covering structures with hides to keep the warmth in. Inside, fire provided light and heat. Families stayed close, sharing body warmth and stories. Shelter wasn't just a place to sleep, it was the center of life. Their homes had to resist wind, keep out snow, and hold in heat. They built entrances low to trap warm air inside and used stones to weigh down the hides. Over time, their building skills got better and their shelters became safer. A strong shelter gave them the confidence to rest, to plan, and to teach their kids without fear. Clothing was their armor. To fight the cold, people needed more than just animal skins. They needed strategy. Early humans made tailored clothing using bone needles and sinew thread. They layered furs, tightened seams, and created boots and gloves. Clothes weren't fashion, they were survival tools. Every stitch was a defense against the freezing air. They even learned which animals provided the warmest fur. Fox, reindeer, and mammoth all offered different advantages. And it wasn't just about warmth. Movement mattered too. The clothes had to allow them to run, climb, and fight. They figured out how to wrap feet to avoid frostbite, how to cover their faces, and how to dry their clothes by the fire overnight. Smart clothing choices often meant the difference between life and death. Fire changed everything. Fire wasn't just heat, it was hope. It let humans cook food, scare predators, and survive brutal nights. Fire brought people together. Around it, they made plans, shared knowledge, and stayed connected. Fire became the heart of every camp, and learning how to control it was one of humanity's greatest milestones. Fire helped them stay put in one place longer. With warmth and cooked food, they had more time to build tools, pass down skills, and care for each other. Fire helped with making clothes, treating wounds, and even making the dark nights feel less frightening. It was the first real step toward having a home, not just a shelter. Sticking together meant staying alive. In a harsh world, community was everything. People formed tight groups where everyone played a role. Hunters, gatherers, caretakers. Each person mattered. They shared resources and protected one another. Trust and cooperation kept them going. Alone, they wouldn't last. Together, they had a chance. They shared food fairly, watched each other's children, and took turns keeping the fire going. That kind of cooperation meant they could focus on bigger things, like building new tools or planning the next move. It created strong bonds and deep traditions that shaped early human culture. Being part of a group didn't just help them survive, it gave them purpose. Brains over brawn strength helped, but thinking smart kept people alive. Humans created better tools, tracked animals more effectively, and solved problems with creativity. They adapted quickly, using knowledge passed from generation to generation. Intelligence gave them an edge that no beast could match. They invented spear throwers to hunt from a safer distance, used stones to sharpen weapons, and figured out how to read the land for danger signs. Learning was nonstop. They passed down knowledge through stories, through hands-on lessons, and through the marks they left behind. Every lesson learned in the Ice Age helped build the world that came after it. Art told their story. Even in survival mode, early humans found time for expression. They painted animals and scenes on cave walls, records of their world. These weren't just drawings. They were memories, lessons, and maybe even warnings. Art proved that people didn't just want to live, they wanted to remember, connect, and feel. Some of these cave paintings still exist today. They show hunters in motion, herds of animals, and symbols we may never fully understand. But what's clear is that storytelling was already important. Whether it was for teaching or remembering, those early artists made sure their lives wouldn't be forgotten. Even in the coldest places, they found warmth in creation. The story of the Ice Age isn't just old, it's alive. It's in our instincts, our need to connect, and our fight to survive whatever comes next. Those humans, wrapped in fur and walking across frozen land, weren't just surviving, they were building the future one step at a time. If you're fascinated by these stories and want more untold truths from the past, be sure to subscribe to the Untold Past and join the tribe. There's a lot more to uncover together. Thanks for watching.